Tony Johnson's MMA career has been a whirlwind. After debuting in November of 2008, it took a mere 17 months to chalk up 4 straight wins and claim the heavyweight belt in a stunning defeat over Tony Lopez.
Most people were expecting me to lose. You know, I don't know if it was a warm-up fight for him or not, but that's his fault. You know, he didn't take me seriously. And, you know, it felt good to get that win, you know, get a world champion, be a world champion with 4 fights, you know, which is very rare.
Before the idea of being a champ had even set in, Johnson's coaches and trainers were already planning his title defense.
It feels different defending a belt because you're the #1 guy in this promotion. Guys are hunting for you. So now, like, you know, as I'm training, my coach is like, look, you're the belt holder, you got to train hard, you got to train hard, you got to train hard to get it go. So now I know people want what I have, you know, and there's going to be blood, sweat, and tears for them before they take it out of my hands.
Ironically, Johnson sees some of himself in the man he's fighting tonight, Daniel Cormier, who also gets his first title shot with a 3-0 record.
Getting my first title shot at only 3-0 is, it's massive. I mean, how many guys have done that? You know, Tony Johnson is the guy that did it too, you know, so he's sitting on the opposite side of where I am now. He was right where I was 6 months ago. For me, it's a progression. I look at everything as a progression. If I'm supposed to be the champion, we'll find out tonight.
Next month, Cormier marks his 1-year anniversary as a mixed martial arts fighter. But despite his success, he'll never forget his roots as a wrestler.
Wrestling in the Olympics was unbelievable, man. I was 4th place in 2004. 2008, I had to withdraw from the competition. Got sick, making weight. But the competition and making the Olympic team is something that will never be matched.
He's a good wrestler, props to him, you know, but this is MMA. You know, and I know how to stop a wrestler. The best person to beat a wrestler is a wrestler. I
firmly believe that after wrestling the Olympic Games and wrestling at the level I have, people can't out-wrestle me in mixed martial arts.
And while tonight is a major milestone in Cormier's career, Johnson feels like he still has a lot to prove.
I believe that, you know, your first title defense determines if you're a champion. Nobody's really seen my stand-up, which I plan on showcasing at the fight. I'm going out there. I'm just going to test him out, see what he's doing, see how his hands are. You know, I'm just going to. I am going to look for a knockout, but you know, I'm going to be smart about it. You know, I'm going to just soften him up a little bit, soften him up, get him tired. Then when I see the opportunity, that's it. Lights out.
It is main event time here at King of the Cage in New Mexico as Daniel Cormier stomps his way to the cage. Born in Lafayette, Louisiana, now fighting out of San Jose, California with the decorated AKA team. The 31-year-old comes off a devastatingly brutal first-round ground-and-pound win over the giant Lucas Brown in Sydney, Australia, only 2 weeks ago. As I said earlier, Cormier put 100 stitches on the face of Lucas Brown. It was brutal. His wrestling credentials are phenomenal, to say the least. An All-American in high school, he amassed a high school wrestling record of 101-9. 5-time US Nationals champion, 4-time US World Team member, and of course a 2-time Olympian. Made his MMA debut in September last year. That knockout of Gary Frazier at Show MMA 3. Followed that up with a first-round knockout of John Devine at Show MMA 7 in Fresno in March. Has been here in Mescalero since Monday to acclimatise, and says after studying the tape of Johnson's heavyweight title victory over Tony Lopez that he will not make the same mistake Lopez made and sit under Tony Johnson for 25 minutes. Cormier in the King of the Cage for the first time. The champ, Tony Johnson, cuts an awesome figure. 24 years old, 265 pounds of power. 4-0 with 2 knockouts, one of the most athletic heavyweights going around. He comes off an absolute drubbing of Tony Lopez that ended Lopez's lengthy winning streak and earned Johnson the heavyweight strap. A decorated wrestler who wrestled at Iowa State. He held 6 national titles, a world title, wrestled on the Dream Team, was part of the Ford national team, was offered a football scholarship to USC to play as a fullback, in the days when he could run the 40-yard dash in just 4.5 at 240 pounds. He once ran the 40-yard dash in 4.7 at 320 pounds. A phenomenal natural athlete is Tony Johnson. 6'1 versus 5'11, 264.2 versus 248. And look at the reach. 7.5-inch advantage going the way of TJ Tony Johnson. The champ's in the cage. Cormier is in the cage. Big Papa Schnarky is in the cage. And we are ready for our main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the night. It is 5-minute rounds inside the King of the Cage steel for the undisputed King of the Cage heavyweight crown. Are you ready to crank it up, baby? First, standing to my right, in the Magna Flow Exhaust Products corner, wearing the black and camouflage trim trunks. At 5 feet 11 inches tall, he weighed in at 248 pounds. With a mixed martial art record of 3 wins and absolutely no losses. Representing the world-renowned American Kickboxing Academy, sponsored by MMA Elite, FullTiltPoker.net, and Polanti Watches. He is the ex-MMA heavyweight champion, 2-time United States Olympian, and gold medal winner in the World Championships. From San Jose, California, this is the challenger, Daniel Cormier. His opponent, standing to my left inside the King of the Cage steel, fighting out of the Booyah Fightwear corner, wearing the black and red trim trunks. At 6 feet 1 inch tall, he weighed in at 264.2 pounds. With a mixed martial art record of 4 wins and absolutely no losses. Representing Ghost Wolf, sponsored by Lexani Rims, FullTiltPoker.net, and Bonafide Tough Guy. He is the King of the Cage, heavyweight champion of the world, from Miami, Florida. This is the champion, Tony Johnson.
Cecil Peoples with the final instructions.
All right, gentlemen, you're fighting for the most prestigious belt in the world, King of the Cage Heavyweight Championship. Let's keep it clean, protect yourself, follow my rules. Any question? Let's dance.
The mega match is about to take place. 513 pounds in the cage here with Johnson and Cormier. As my hero, the late great Gorilla Monsoon, would say, the irresistible force about to meet the immovable object. Michael Chavello, Jason Mayhem Miller with you. An early right hand off the bell. Some good striking here from the champ Johnson. He's got the red stripe down his trunks.
Yeah, I'm pumped on this one, man. This is a great fight already. I can see these guys are not going 25 minutes. Somebody is going to finish this fight.
Look at the condition here of Johnson. So different to what we saw against Lopez. He has trained like an absolute demon with the team from Ghost Wolf in preparation for this one. Meanwhile, Cormier has been doing the hard sparring with Velasquez and all the gang, Mike Kyle too, at AKA in San Jose. He rips the right hand down to the breadbasket of Johnson. Opening for a knee here off the left leg if Johnson can throw it. Like two bulls locking horns. He went for a double leg there, didn't take it though. Cormier, beautiful crossing elbow to right hand, and Johnson backs him up with a big thumper of a right. Cormier goes high with the right round kick. Johnson locks onto a double leg. Can he put Cormier on his back? Oh, they almost break through the cage.
Excellent scrambling from Daniel Cormier, and that just shows how much his wrestling is affecting this fight. I mean, that was a fantastic... Oh, and now he's got the back.
Cormier takes the back of Big Tony Johnson. He'll look for a rear naked choke, puts in the hooks here.
You know, they call it American Kickboxing Academy, but they do a lot of grappling there. I mean, a tremendous amount. I can see that Daniel Cormier is already out grappling Tony Johnson.
Johnson is just a huge and powerful individual. Cormier now inside control. He can work some knees. He can drop those elbows.
Yeah, you see there again the excellent wrestling from Daniel Cormier. I mean, he's just a level above the common heavyweight.
It was from this position that he absolutely wrecked Lucas Brown in Sydney 2 weeks ago to win the ex-MMA heavyweight title. He takes the back of Johnson again.
Yeah, and you think about it, 250 pounds laying on your back that long. I mean, and he slipped in the choke there quick.
He wants the back again. He wants to ride him like Bodacious.
Yeah. Oh, man, Tony Johnson is looking out, looking like it's already going his way.
He's flattening him out. It's
Cormier wins the title.
It's good night, Irene. Cormier has done it again. Cormier taps out Tony Johnson in the first round. Who can stop this fantastic rising talent that is the two-time Olympian?
Man, Daniel Cormier did a fantastic job.
That was epic. Let's take a look again here. Cormier took the back of Big Tony Johnson. 3 dominant positions in that very short first round. And look at Cormier. Johnson was never going to get him off. Puts the hooks in, flattens him out, turns him around, tap, tap, good night. Brilliant performance here from Cormier. And just like that, he wins his second title in 2 weeks in 2 different countries. First in Sydney 2 weeks ago when he pounded out Lucas Brown in 1 round, put 100 stitches on his face. And tonight, he chokes out Tony Johnson in just 1 round. Big Papa Schnarky make it all official.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, scream and shout for these 2 monsters. Your winner in 2 minutes and 27 seconds of round number 1, tap out by rear naked choke. Representing American Kickboxing Academy, sponsored by MMA Elite, FullTailPoker.net, and Polanti Watches. And new King of the Cage, heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Cormier!
You know, after he won the ex-MMA belt in Sydney a couple of weeks ago, he spent the night in King's Cross with the belt over his shoulder. I wonder where he'll go for the party tonight with the beautiful King of the Cage strap. Okay, let's go up to Mayhem with the new King of the Cage champion.
I'm here with your champion, Daniel Cormier. Daniel, fantastic display. How do you feel right now?
I feel great, man. Second title, get out of this unscathed. Going to Houston to fight next week.
Yeah, 2 fights in 2 weeks. Yeah, and 2 wins in 2 weeks, and on to a 3rd one. Let's look at the replay right now. I mean, did you know that you had this submission pretty early?
Well, once I got it around his neck, I knew it was in pretty tight. I knew he was in trouble, wasn't gonna be able to get out of there.
Yeah, you did an excellent job of riding on the back. I mean, really a classic wrestling thing. How much? I guess your wrestling really helped out in this fight.
Yeah, you know, he did a good job in the beginning. He was more aggressive than I thought. So I had to, once we went to the ground, you know, I hit him once, and he shot. His natural instinct took over. So I was able to out-wrestle him, take a position I was in good in, and win the fight.
Well, I mean, no longer a wrestler. How do you feel being a mixed martial artist? True. I mean, finishing the fight with a submission.
I feel great. Did you see the head kick? I even threw a head kick.
I saw that. It was excellent.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, is there anyone else you want to thank?
Yeah, man. First thing I want to say is happy birthday. My mom's birthday is tomorrow. Audrey Cormier, the most beautiful woman in the world. I love you. That's for you, Mom. I want to thank my sponsors, MMA Elite, Mike DeSabado, Stephen Jones, I love you guys. Future Clothing Company, Valenti Watches, Full Tilt Poker. Thank you guys, all my training partners, Mike, Kyle King, Velasquez, Kyle Kingsbury, Phil Davis, American Kickboxing Academy, all my coaches, Bob Cook, Dave Camarillo, and Javier Mendez. Thank you guys, I love you.
Hey, thank you. Your winner and new champion, Daniel Cormier.
Fantastic night here for Daniel Cormier, and I tell you what, one of the nicest blokes you'll meet in the sport of mixed martial arts, Daniel Cormier. An absolute gentleman and a warrior.
Tony Johnson's MMA career has been a whirlwind. After debuting in November of 2008, it took a mere 17 months to chalk up 4 straight wins and claim the heavyweight belt in a stunning defeat over Tony Lopez.
Most people were expecting me to lose. You know, I don't know if it was a warm-up fight for him or not, but that's his fault. You know, he didn't take me seriously, and you know, it felt good to get that win.
Making weight, but the competition and making the Olympic team is something that will never be matched.
He's a good wrestler, props to him, you know, but this is MMA, you know, and I know how to stop a wrestler. The best person to beat a wrestler is a wrestler.
I firmly believe that after wrestling the Olympic Games and wrestling at the level I have, people can't out-wrestle me in mixed martial arts.
And while tonight is a major milestone in Cormier's career, Johnson feels like he still has a lot to...
Let's wait in tears for him to take it out of my hands.
Ironically, Johnson sees some of himself in the man he's fighting tonight, Daniel Cormier, who also gets his first title shot with a 3-0 record.
Getting my first title shot at only 3-0 is, it's massive. I mean, how many guys have done that? You know, Tony Johnson is a guy that did it too, you know, so he's sitting on the opposite side of where I am now. He was right where I was 6 months ago. For me, it's a progression. I look at everything as a progression. If I'm supposed to be the champion, we'll find out tonight.
Next month, Cormier marks his 1-year anniversary as a mixed martial arts fighter. But despite his success, he'll never forget his roots as a wrestler.
Wrestling in the Olympics was unbelievable, man. I was 4th place in 2004. 2008, I had to withdraw from the competition. Got sick.
You know, get a world champion, be a world champion with 4 fights, you know, which is very rare.
Before the idea of being a champ had even set in, Johnson's coaches and trainers were already planning his title defense.
It feels different defending a belt because you're the #1 guy in this promotion. Guys are hunting for you. So now, like, you know, as I'm training, my coach is like, look, you're the belt holder, you got to train hard, you got to train hard to get it go. So now I know people want what I have, you know, and there's gonna be blood.